this comment is obviously a pretty big deal, right? Make sure we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders to lead this country. Now here's what's so loaded about this, guys, is we know exactly what she's fucking saying, right? Because they're trying to make it have some sense of plausible deniability. But like, give me a fucking break, okay? To Kristi Noem, a Democrat leading this country is not the right leader. I mean, everything about the SAVE Act, everything about their whole voting process is trying to get, minorities and women to not vote. That's what they want. They want minorities and women to not vote. And they want white Christians to vote. Period. That's their whole goal. Those are the right people to them. That's it. White Christians. But dude, the way she says it, she is so smarmy.
And elections is another one of those critical infrastructure responsibilities that I have as well. And I would say that many people believe that it may be one of the most important things that we need to make sure we trust is reliable, and that when it gets to election day that we've been proactive to make sure that we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders to lead this country through the days that we have, knowing that people can trust it.
Dude, that statement right there is batshit. I feel like that response really needs some questions answered. The right leaders, right? The right people voting, electing the right leaders so everyone can trust it.
In Arizona, we already require proof of citizenship to register to vote, but we also allow members of our tribal nations to use their enrollment documents to vote. Under the SAVE Act, they wouldn't be able to do that.
Tribal IDs are recognized. Tribal IDs.
But most tribes don't have tribal IDs, not with photos and places of birth.
There's many different options that can be used. Now remember, the SAVE Act only says that you need to prove your citizenship when you register to vote. It does not say that you have to prove your citizenship and able to go and vote.
No, it says, though, you have to prove your citizenship every time you move, okay? It is f***ed up. Dude, they just want to get rid of all the Democrats. Dude, she's such a scumbag. How was that reporter's question? Like, why was the first question not, what the f*** did you mean by make sure the right people vote and elect the right leaders? Like, define what the right leader is, right? How is that not the first question? I mean, I get the question about the tribal people because they're not going to be able to vote because the SAVE Act's going to make it so now tribal people don't have the right IDs. And that's what they're doing. The SAVE Act is going to hit women, especially poor women. It's going to hit people of color. It is going to hit like older voters. You may have noticed, guys. I don't know if you noticed in 2024, but did you see what happened? Older voters swung Democratic. This was the first time in a while that the older voters swung Democratic because they're watching the country they helped build get gutted by Donald Trump. And so then now the SAVE Act is going to disproportionately make it harder for older voters to vote. Of course, but older voters, people of color, women, and native populations are all going to get devastated by this thing. All the trans people are going to get disenfranchised as well.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Dude, that was it? That was it? They took 2 questions? Like, are you shitting me? She came in and she talked about bullshit and then they took 2 fucking questions? Bro, that is some horse shit, boss. Come in and like, what was even this press conference? See, here's the thing though. This is the thing that is problematic. You ready? Is this right here? I feel like this comment really hits on it. The number one thing about this SAVE Act, guys, why they're trying to cram it through is because of this. Isn't it a little late to be changing the rules with primaries coming up? But that's just it, guys. March 3rd is when the primary starts. That's like 17 days, bro. Dude, like, how can they pass any type of voter legislation in the middle of an election year? This is ridiculous. They're trying to pass an election bill after the primaries have already started. And the point being, though, is if they change the rules in the middle, they can create chaos. And I think that's their role more than anything, guys, is to create some type of chaos so then they can go, aha, election impropriety, right? Because what they really want more than anything is to dispute, to find like disputable election impropriety, and then it will excuse another rash of like, right, they have to create a problem that they can fix. But like, dude, if they were going to pass this bill, guys, this should have happened last year, okay? If instead of their tax cuts, this should have been the thing they did last legislative session, okay? You do it in 2025. You do it in an odd-numbered year. You're not going to adjust the election rules during a primary year. I mean, that's what's so crazy, right? That, like, he thinks the 2020 election got stolen, but, like, it was his term, dude. He was in office. How'd that shit get stolen, dude? Give me a fucking break, bro. Like, you know, so ridiculous, dude. Shit is so, it's so dumb. I mean, their shit doesn't hold water. And of course, yeah, you know, like, obviously, they clearly have to work on these stolen elections right after Trump wins. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if we could steal the election, we all know that Trump would not be in office right now. If there was any possibility of us stealing an election, that dumb motherfucker would not be shitting his pants in the Oval Office as we speak. Okay? There's, you know, I mean, that's what's so ridiculous about their narratives, right? Their narratives are like, oh, you steal the election, but like, dude, you just won, right? You steal the elections, but like, homie, you guys control all three branches of government. So obviously we don't steal elections. If we stole elections, what did we give you all three branches of government? Right? They're passing all this crazy election integrity shit right after they win all three branches. Like, it's such a huge problem that they literally just won everything. And that's how bad, like, dude, it just doesn't make any sense. That's the thing that I have a problem with beyond the chaos. Like, obviously the chaos, but the thing that's really shitty is now this whole government is like, they're only governing MAGA people, and everybody else, they're like, you can fuck directly off. And so, you know, as partisan as the Democrats are, and we are very partisan in our beliefs, but I feel like when we govern, we don't govern from a partisan, you know, from a partisan position. The Democrats always try to elevate and uplift and bring life to those red areas that have been hit by, you know, factories leaving or Walmart rolling in or the data centers destroying the environment. Like, we are constantly trying to help the red areas of the country because we know you have to build up the broken areas for the prosperity to really take. But they, not only are they not, you know, governing for both sides, they're actively trying to harm the economies in every blue area. They're literally trying to, like, destroy the blue areas. And it's like, you, bro, we pay all the goddamn bills. Dude, she just looks beat, though, dude. She is beat. Dude, everybody, we're heading down to Kristi Kreme Donuts, right, to go get a lobotomy and some tights. I think they're going to try to get ICE. They're going to try and get an election squad. They're going to try to militarize the polling places. That's what I think. I mean, you know, obviously Trump had that little statement about about like whether Congress passes this or not, we're going to have voter ID. And dude, Trump can eat a dick.